Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to be talking about the Skorpion EVO SMG in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now the EVO is the last SMG that you unlock in the SMG line of weapons, and rightly so because this thing has an absolute insane damage output. It has the highest rate of fire of any gun in the game, clocking in at 1200 rounds per minute. Now, as you manage to rank up this weapon, you will eventually unlock the rapid fire attachment for this weapon. If you equip the rapid fire attachment, this gun can actually fire at 1800 rounds per minute, which is absolutely insane. If you are firing the weapon that fast, you can equip extended mags also, so it has a bigger magazine to pull from. But even so, this gun will end up shooting through 30 rounds in 1 second, which is just absolutely crazy. So make sure that your target is on target before you start shooting this gun, otherwise you're going to be out of ammo very fast. Now that's another concern with this weapon, is because of how fast you shoot this gun, you end up missing a lot of your shots, so you still down your target, but you'll end up going through an entire 32 round magazine and then reload the weapon. This in effect basically doesn't allow you to conserve a lot of ammo, so you will end up running out of a lot of ammo. You'll certainly kill the guys that you run into, but that doesn't matter too much if down the road you end up not having any ammo at all. So I really like to run Scavenger with this kit setup here. I actually ended up using Scavenger later on, and I would have 200 plus rounds to go through, so I could be very, very liberal with how I fired this weapon rather than trying to conserve ammunition until I was up close and in people's face. I didn't mind wasting a lot of that ammunition hip fire or firing from long range. Now when this weapon has the rapid fire attachment, it is actually the fastest damage dealing weapon in the game. There is no other gun out there that can put this much damage downrange in such a short period of time. Now if you're not using the rapid fire attachment, it's still the fastest damage dealing weapon in the game if you don't count the KAP-40 pistol, which slightly outdamages it, but it only has 15 rounds in its magazine compared to the EVO's 32 and potential 43 if you're using extended magazines. Now I played a lot with the Skorpion EVO. I unlocked every attachment with it. I played around with a whole bunch of different perks and class setups to try and figure out which one was the best, most effective way to run with this, and I tried a lot. This gun is very versatile. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be because it's got great hip fire and extremely fast rate of fire, so it seems like it would be a good weapon to just run around with, hip fire everything, and deal a huge amount of damage in close quarters, but you can actually set it up to be a bit more versatile than that. Now I had to try out a setup using the rapid fire attachment, extended mags, and other things. The rapid fire attachment on this gun, although it's cool, is just absolutely insane. Basically the problem I ran into with the rapid fire attachment is that you would fire through your ammunition so fast that if you run into a second guy as opposed to the first guy that you're shooting at, you mow him down, you run into a second guy, you usually don't have enough ammunition left over to finish them off because you shoot through your ammo so fast. I mean, you'll go through 20 rounds when your opponent dies from the first 5 shots just because it fires that fast. It's absolutely crazy, but it's still a lot of fun. If you're running with rapid fire on this gun, then you absolutely are going to need to run Scavenger if you plan on using this weapon for more than 3 kills or so, because you are just going to run out of ammo way too fast. Now a lot of people run with laser pointer on SMG so that you can get that really good hip fire accuracy, and I have to say for about 70% of the time when I was using this gun, I was running with a laser pointer on it. Then I tried a setup that didn't involve a laser pointer and realized that I was hip firing mostly only in those extreme close quarter situations, and in those situations this gun fires fast enough that you can usually drop your opponent. You won't be quite as accurate, but you can usually drop them faster than they can drop you, even without a laser pointer. So I ended up running without the laser pointer and instead using something like a red dot sight to improve my accuracy while aiming down sights. Now, a criticism with the Skorpion EVO that I've heard, at least from other players, is that the recoil is a bit tricky to manage, so it makes it less effective at longer ranges just because the thing definitely has a lot of a kick. Something that you will notice in sort of extreme mode if you're using the rapid fire attachment becomes almost impossible to control this gun when aiming down sights. I prefer to use the weapon without the rapid fire attachment, and while aiming down sights I actually ended up using a foregrip to help steady out that aim and control that recoil a little bit, and all of a sudden I had a gun that was extremely powerful in close quarters even while hip firing without a laser attachment, and then a gun that could still dish out massive amounts of damage while aiming down sights. And the foregrip helped me tame that recoil a bit. Basically, the EVO has a huge amount of power, and you just want to figure out how to tame that power. Whether you want to tame it in hipfire accuracy, you want to give it a huge amount of like ammo with extended mags so that you don't have to be quite as accurate, or if you want to give it a foregrip and a sight that's going to allow you to be really accurate at longer ranges and still dish out the massive amount of damage that this weapon possesses. Now, a great thing about the EVO is that it has one of the fastest reload times for any of the SMGs out there. So if you don't want to use the fast reload attachment for this gun, you can definitely put something else in that slot. Now, to balance out the awesome power of the EVO, it seems like the gun is a little bit more high maintenance, and what I mean by that is that some weapons you can pretty much throw on to any build that you like and have them work out pretty well, but with the EVO it seems more like you're designing your class around the weapon as opposed to just designing a class and then deciding what kind of gun you want to give it. The EVO almost always seems like, for me, I needed to run Scavenger to make the gun really effective because it chews through ammo so fast. You're going to need Scavenger to keep the setup going unless you're fine with just switching kits after you kill like 3 or 4 guys. Another thing that I found after really testing it for a while was that I wanted a foregrip to control that recoil so that I could drop targets from longer range. Now that's not necessary for all builds. If you're going for something that's just exclusively close quarters, then a foregrip isn't really necessary. You can just sort of hip fire the thing. But if you're trying to make the EVO a little bit more versatile, use its extreme power in close range, then use a foregrip and aiming down sights for longer range kills that are still very effective, you're going to have to put a foregrip on there. You compare it to a lot of, say, the assault rifles and stuff, those don't really need foregrips, and they're still very effective at longer ranges. So in that sense, I found that most of the builds that I ended up enjoying with the EVO, I really needed a foregrip and Scavenger for them to work. Now ultimately, the way that I set up this weapon and really enjoyed playing this class was running Scavenger, a foregrip, a red dot sight on here. In addition to Scavenger, lightweight and dexterity were also extremely helpful just for being a little bit more agile, a little bit more nimble, just moving around the map super fast with this gun. It really does allow you to do some very quick close quarter hip firing action, and just having speed, dexterity for that is extremely helpful for the up close hip fire situations. So beyond that setup, you can actually customize a bit more, and you can take it either in a more stealth way. You can give it a little bit more versatility with adding different kinds of tactical grenades. I'll leave that side up to you, but I really think for me personally, what you're watching right now with this red dot sight and foregrip is possibly one of the best ways to run this weapon that I found. Now the Skorpion EVO is already possibly one of the more popular SMGs out there. The reason for this is that it has the highest, or rather the shortest time to kill out of any of the guns out there. If you can tame this weapon, you effectively have one of the best guns in the game. When it all comes down to it, if you're matched up against an opponent with equal skill, whoever's using the gun that kills the other person faster is going to win that firefight, and that's what the Skorpion EVO is going to do. So that's it for my Skorpion EVO review, possibly one of the best SMGs out there and potentially one of the better guns in the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this weapon review, and stay tuned for more Black Ops 2 gun reviews. I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.